Hey everybody, I'm back. Video 146 of 365. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist, and I'm doing a video every day for a whole year to get over my fear of public speaking and social anxiety. And yes, this is video 146. Haven't missed a day. Still going strong. There's a thunderstorm going on outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's a nice evening. And today I wanted to talk about how our childhood shapes our current situations that you might have going on. I've talked about this a little bit before, but today I went out to a long brunch today that turned into almost dinner time by the time we were done, with two very special people that I've known for quite a while, and we were talking about this subject. Found out some news regarding something in my own life that normally would have really have shaken me and upset me to the core. And when I heard this, it didn't have the effect that it would have a long time ago. And that's how you know that you've changed, is when you're able to respond versus react and actually process the feeling that comes up inside you instead of suppressing it, actually noticing, hey, I'm feeling this way because of this stimulus that was just given to me. You know, I feel not good enough, or I feel sad, or I feel scared, whatever it is, and you just kind of feel it and let it process through your body. And a lot of times we suppress those feelings and we don't know we're doing it, because we've been conditioned to do that most of our lives. And so anyway, this news was part of just these life patterns that show up. When you're a kid, for me, for instance, going through a lot of abuse and neglect, I carried out those patterns with other people, whether it was friends or partners. I would kind of carry on some of those like internal feelings I had. I would be tolerant of other people's bad behavior, and I would almost excuse it or justify it. That was a big thing. Like, well, they were also hurt as a child, and you know, that's why they're this way, or whatever the case is. So anyway, my point is that this type of information normally would have sent me over the edge and made me cry and be upset and everything like that. And while it wasn't happy, you know, it didn't make me happy, it did show me that, hey, do not look outside of yourself for your own worth. You are worthy no matter what anyone else says. And if you just stay true to the vision that you want to hold for yourself, of yourself, that's the place where you want to be. That's where your power is. We cannot look externally for our power, ever. Every time we do that, we give our power away. Every time we look to the mirror to change, instead of changing ourselves to reflect back our change, we give away our power. So look at your life and figure out, if you so choose to, look at your patterns of people that you've been with, people that you've been friends with, mostly just relationships. Look at your coworkers even, you know, just look at their behavior and see if there's anything in you that matches the expectation that you might have. Like maybe you have an expectation of how someone's going to act, or maybe someone treats you the same way that one of your parents did. And that programming is in us from childhood, from somewhere back there. And so we carry on those beliefs. We have this thing that happens to us, or we witness something happening to somebody else even, and we give it a meaning about ourselves. We say, I must not be good enough because A, B, and C, or whatever the case is. I must not be important because A, B, and C, whatever the case is. And so we carry on those beliefs. Those never really change until we know to change them. Nobody teaches us to change our thought patterns and our systems of beliefs, you know, our paradigms. No one ever teaches us how to do that. And so these are deeply ingrained. You know, you'll tolerate bad behavior from people just because you noticed it in childhood. And so how this works with the law of assumption is that whatever you're like, and I always go back to self. Neville Goddard says there's no one to change but self. So once you change your self-concept, your concept of yourself, when you change these things, the external world will show you and reflect back your changes. And I like to say the first change you're going to notice is that you just feel better. And it's so awesome when you start to actually feel better. I don't think there's any other manifestation that is better than that, because you're wanting something to change outside of yourself so that you can feel better, or you're wanting something to manifest so that you can feel better. So why not just feel better now? We all have to remember this. We can feel better now by generating new feelings and new beliefs inside of ourselves about ourselves. I just start with self. There's no need to try to change another person or even ask, why did this person act this way, or whatever the case is. Most of the time, well, I'm not going to say most of the time, I'm going to say all the time. Whatever you expect a person will act like, they will act like. They will show you what you've been thinking in secret about them. Keep that in mind. Your inner conversations are being heard and felt by everyone around you in some form or fashion. It's kind of on a subconscious level, an unconscious level, but they're being heard. So we have to really watch what our beliefs are that were so ingrained from childhood, because we're going to have thoughts and inner conversations inside our minds regarding people and events and other things that are tied to that. So we have to really watch what patterns were considered maybe normal. What are you tolerating today? I mean, I don't think we should have to tolerate anything, but we do, because we're so used to it. It's so familiar. So I just want to leave you again with your worth comes from inside yourself. Do not ever let anybody tell you who you are. You know who you are. You start to know who you are, and you have to practice that, because the world has told you who you are, and you believe the world instead of yourself. And that is unfortunately pretty natural. That just happens to a lot of us, I think. We just believe everyone else because we talked about this at our brunch today, how love was possibly dangerous as a kid, or love involved being hurt in some way. And so that gets so ingrained that when you are with somebody today, you accept and tolerate different behaviors, and you think that that's love, and it's really not. And so what I always do is, when I'm triggered by any person, I again go within myself and I say, what have I been expecting or thinking about? And how have I been treating myself lately? What have I been thinking about me? And I'm going to deeply ingrain this in you with every video that I possibly can. It's that the more you speak kindly to yourself, the more you're going to start believing it, because you've got to override the old coding that was put into you so long ago, that old system that is no longer needed, no longer necessary, totally outdated, no need for it anymore, but yet we still are being controlled by it. So we've got to consciously and deliberately take control and say, no, this is who I am now. And we do our identity shift work. We start saying, no, this is who I am now. I'm not that little girl anymore, that little boy anymore that got hurt. I can take control now. I don't have to be controlled by my ego and my assumptions, my old assumptions about myself. I don't have to be controlled by those things anymore. I can decide new assumptions and start utilizing those in my life versus the old assumptions. And if your old assumption is, I'm unworthy, then your new assumption, your new updated coding is going to be, I am worthy. I'm important. I'm valuable. I'm lovable. I'm loving. I am love. You are love. You're pure love. You're the source of everything. And when you start to remember this, how powerful you are, how powerful your mind is, that your mind is creating everything, and that your thoughts and your beliefs about yourself are it's like the best place to start. Your foundation is how you feel about yourself. And we want to get that on point so that you can start creating anything you want. You don't want to create a bunch of money when you feel like crap about yourself inside. That's not going to do anything for you. You don't want to manifest a partner when you feel like crap about yourself, because all those symptoms are going to show up in your relationship. And the same with money. It's just going to be empty. You're never going to get enough of it. You're going to keep working and working for what? What's the end goal? My end goal would be peace and love and harmony and all the joy and everything. And then you have money and you can be like, oh, wow, I have all this money. I can do great things with it, but I was already fulfilled before I had it. That's where I want everybody to get to. I want you to feel fulfilled and joyful before any of these things show up. And the paradox of this is that when you start feeling that way, these things start to show up naturally. You just know what steps to take next once you're operating from this like awesome foundation that you've created for yourself. And it starts with telling yourself, I am a new identity today. This is who I'm identifying with today. Yesterday, I was assuming that I was unworthy. Today, I am deciding to not do that. I'm going to identify with, I am worthy. And you start just basically convincing yourself. You only have to convince yourself. You just have to trick yourself almost, train yourself deliberately with intention. You start thinking like that. And I promise you, it'll start to work. And how you know that is you just start to feel better. And anytime you get knocked off your game by anything, say, this is just old news. This is an old manifestation. This doesn't even matter. What if this never even happened? What if I can create anything from my now and none of that past stuff matters? Because really the past, when you're bringing up a memory, it's like it's happening now. It's not even from the past. Like anytime you quote, remember something, you're bringing it up right now. So your brain and body think it's happening right now. So we don't even need to do that anymore. We need to create new memories right now. And we can do that through visualization, of course. And you generate a feeling from just visualizing something that you want and act as if you already have it. Live from the end of that goal. Live from the end of that scene that you're creating and say, this is who I am now. This is how I'm going to live from now on. And anytime you get knocked off, just go back to that vision. You got to stay true to you. You've got to decide what your vision is and stay the same. Don't get out of character. You decide what character you're playing. This is who I am. And don't let anybody knock you off. And we're going to be human, because we are human. We're going to be human sometimes. And we're going to feel. So when you feel something, acknowledge it. Say, I feel this. I feel grief. I feel loss. I feel lonely. I feel scared. I feel tired. Whatever it is, feel it. Let it pass through your body. And I know there's some people that don't know how to feel. So I'm going to have to get into that in a separate video. But because I'll get into more of that, how to feel. But you can just start with what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel scared. You know, you start with one feeling and you just kind of say, well, how do I know that makes me feel scared? How do I know that makes me happy? And I'll get into that later. That'll be a whole other video. But so you feel your feeling, you let it pass through your body, and you've acknowledged it and validated it. And that's sometimes all the feeling needs. But a feeling is just a piece of data. It's an indication of where you're at right now. And you can change it at any moment. That's the cool thing about this. So I'll stop rambling. I can tell I'm rambling again. So I will end this today. Remember, you are worthy because you decided so. It's up to you. You get to decide, am I worthy or am I not? And I advise you to decide that you are worthy today, because I know you are. Just borrow my belief in you for a minute. Say, what if I am worthy? What if I am good enough? What if I'm great enough? What if I was never not good enough and I just was listening to some lies that I took on as truth? What if that's the case? And I can guarantee that that is the case. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped you in any way, please share this with somebody who might need the help. I want to get the word out about all of this stuff. I think it's very valuable and helpful, and I just want to change as many lives as possible through making everyone feel as great as they possibly can. That's my goal. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whatever time you're watching this, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.